Well, this is how I plan to make the axle bands. There's two axle bands, one here, one on the opposite side. And the axle is held into, it's actually it's going to be gorilla glued into place. There's actually it's a square axle, and I routed out a square notch, like 1 1/8 inches by 1 1/8 inches, where a square axle just fits in there. It's actually, you got to hit it down with a rubber mallet to put that wood on there. What happens is, there's an axle band that goes around here. So I got the metal over there. This is going to be 1/4 inch thick, 2 inches wide. So what I'm going to do though is with the metal bender, I got a feeling that the metal bender, even though it goes to almost a 1/2 inch thick, goes to 7/16, 2 inches wide, I don't think it's going to make a very clean corner bend. It'll bend it. So to get a clean corner bend, I'm using this tape. This is how the band will go. There's actually a plate that goes over this, and on that plate that goes over that, there's this little piece welded to the plate so it fits flush. So they're like the 1/4 inch thickness here will have a 1/4 inch over that, and since there won't be no gap between the 1/4 inch over that, between that and the wood, there's a piece that gets welded to that top plate so it goes over it, and two lag bolts that go into there. So to make this, I'm going to take this off, put it on there, and then use the square to mark the lines, and I'm going to take the cutoff wheel and cut maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 inch, maybe a little more than a 1/16 of an inch into the metal. So this way when I bend it, it should follow that cut and make two axle bands nice and perfect. And then what I'll do is take I got the little Hobart 125. I don't have it set up with the MIG gas. I have it a good high quality grounding clamp, all brass, and I have good quality flux core wire. So then I'll fill in where I cut this on the outside with a weld, and then use the flap wheel on a grinder, the flap wheel, smooth out the weld, and then you're done with these. I don't think these would be a big problem. I don't think the axle bands that go to the center, the cheeks, will be a problem, or the center strap. Making the trunnion plate going around the cheeks, maybe. Tonight I am going to cut out the trunnion plates on like some real thin wood to size the cheeks that go over this to size on some real thin wood. Actually, it's almost like a cardboard. And then I'm going to have them cut out for the life size. This way I can use it as a template for the trunnion plates. If I can make the trunnion plates, this carriage is home free. I don't think I'm going to have a problem doing this, because the method I have, and also have the metal bender. I think the metal bender's main problem is not the capability. It's making a clean, sharp 90-degree bend right here accurately. But if I do the cut on the outside, it's going to follow, the bend will follow that cut. Well, I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm not going to cut most of it through. Just enough so the bend follows that cut and makes a nice sharp 90-degree angle. I already glued all this together. This looks like, since it's ordinary lumber, it's going to be pretty easy to get this all smooth with the belt sander. And for now, I'm going to leave it 6 inches thick all the way for the whole section. This is actually supposed to go from like 6 inches to like 4.5. It's supposed to, like, this is 1.5. So to go from 6 inches to 4.5, you take like 3/4 of an inch off of this. You would make a notch and then come in here and go like that till this gets thinner. And I might do that later, because I can always do that at another time, even after the cannon is fully assembled, to make, because the right shape is this way. This is okay. It's just that these sides got to come in more. But I won't do that right now. I just want to get it together, because once I get it together with the cheeks, I'm going to order the barrel. So that's what's going. I didn't feel like doing it today, because today was Christmas Day, and I didn't feel like sitting out here with an angle grinder on Christmas Day. The neighbors wondering what the hell's going on and shit. But just to show you, again, I showed it on the other videos, I have the metal bender. It's mounted on there real solid. This is capable of doing 7/16 thick. So that's thicker than a 1/2 inch, right? I mean, it's almost as thick as a 1/2 inch. It's thicker than 3/8. So that's almost twice as thick as the 1/4 inch. That's the capability of this. It will bend that metal. I just want to make sure it bends it on a 90-degree, nice clean angle. The one part I'm going to have with the trouble trunnion plates is, can I make that U shape where, you know, I might need to get a piece of pipe of that size and weld it into the trunnion plate, but I might try to make that U shape with the metal with just this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might do a series of cuts and put a socket in there or something like that. I don't know. But a series of cuts to like relieve the strength of the metal. As long as I can get a 2 3/4 inch diameter half circle. That's the only part I'm going to have a problem with the trunnion plates. But if that's a problem, all I got to do is get some pipe, 2 3/4 inch inside diameter. But I'm going to try to do it like this right now. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to try to do the trunnion plates tomorrow. So, because if I get these axle bands done tomorrow, which I think I might, I think this is going to go pretty quick. Not welded up, but actually shaped. And tonight I'm actually going to make the what you call it, the trunnion. The outline of the trunnion plate, which would be the outline of the cheeks. By the way, I checked the differential on this. I put some, it was a type of stop leak that was in there from, I know it wasn't AT205 because that shit didn't work after a while. It was another brand. This is Kitty over here, and it worked great. This is actually this is like a pegboard kind of material. It's not cardboard, it's like a lightweight wood. That's gonna be perfect for tracing out the cheeks. So I'm gonna use that for doing that. That works out. I'll get that part done tonight. And then, you know, we'll see about the rest of it tomorrow. I think this is gonna go fairly quick because it pays to think of the method rather than just jumping right into it. You know, I was wondering how the hell I'm going to bend this shit. And actually you can cut, like you can cut this almost all the way through and leave it as thin as sheet metal, then bend it and then weld it. I don't want to cut it that deep because I want to have it where I'm bending most of the original metal and I'm not welding that much, you know. Either way, it should be plenty strong enough. And if this goes together with the barrel, it's going to only run me $3 grand. I mean, that's freaking cheap. Next step, though, after this problem is going to be reinforcing the trailer. And just to make this video too damn long, I'll show you, I'm going to use this little trailer. I was thinking about getting another one. And I says, you know, they're going to have another freaking trailer. I'm thinking, shit, you know, it's getting ridiculous. Plus, I started thinking about the weight of the trailer, because even a 5x8 trailer weighs like 325 pounds. This trailer, I think it weighs like 220 or something. It's rated for 1,170 or 1,180 pounds. So the wood weighs, I don't know, 25 pounds. What I'm going to do, though, the axles actually the wheels would stick out maybe a 1/2 inch over this. I'm going to put 2-inch angle iron this way and 2-inch angle iron this way, welded together, which would stiffen up this whole frame into one piece, where the two wheels would fit right in there. And also a center piece going down with two, also where the tail would go into here and have a hand crank winch over here bolted to this with some reinforcement plate. So this thing should pull it no problem because it's 1,180 pounds. Even if I add it So I added 280 pounds of steel with the ramps and reinforcement and the side cages. That still gives me 900 pounds. That cannon would only be 520, so say it was 600. It still gives me 300 pounds under the capability. And what I'm doing is I'm going to have these little tires. You can put the same size tires, though they're wider. They're maybe like, they're almost 50% wider. They work with this. They give you more stability, so they would stick out maybe that much, which would account for this just being maybe a ½ inch on each side over. So this thing, and it'll also be extremely low to the ground to load up. So this might be the best way of doing it, because there's nothing wrong with this trailer. And I know they called motorcycles with these things that weigh like 700-800 pounds more than the freaking Cannon. And plus the Cannon's not going to be on rubber tires. It's going to be on metal. You know, it's not going to have a suspension where you got to torque it down where it can move around. So this thing should work out, but then that's another project in itself. But we'll see. This, I'm hoping by the end of this month I have enough done on that carriage whereby I can order the barrel and then place it on there.